So thank you so much, Statehouse Controller. Straight away, you've been invited once again here for the purposes of supplementary one. Actually, we are considering it as a revision just of our estimates, and you were just seated there about 3 weeks ago, doing more or less the same thing. So because of the time constraint, and even for the purposes that is, we are repeating what we did last time, we are going to restrict ourselves to one. From the documents before us, it is evident that you, because of the putting aside the the finance bill, this State Department has suffered a reduction, actually the highest for purposes of record, of 5.1 billion. So your 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to appraise these members, the areas where the 5.1 billion has come from, the program affected, and the net effect of the same. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and honorable members. I'll follow the instruction of the chairman. It's true we were here the other day, but we are all alive to the change of events that have resulted the revision of the budget that we presented. And I will take members to our report on page 3, where we, bulletin 1, where we indicated that in the original budget for this financial year, 2024-2025, Statehouse under vote 1017 was allocated 9.496 billion, but in the current supplementary estimate number 1, it's now reflecting, or what we have been allocated is 4.382. That reflects a budget cut of 5,114 million, which is a 54% cut or budget cut. Mr. Chairman, the table which is table number 1 shows what was originally allocated per each item, that is recurrent and development, and the revised one, and now the changes. So 9.496, the original, that's overall. In recurrent, let me just go for recurrent, we had been allocated 7.937, and now we have in the revised estimate 4.382. So recurrent was reduced by 3,554 million. And development, we had an allocation of 1.558. That's 1,558 million. But in the revised, that one was taken, all of it. So we have 0 in development. So overall, we have lost 5.113, which is 54% of the original budget. The second item is to highlight the most affected programs, projects, and spending items on page 4. And Statehouse has got two sub-programs. One is coordination of Statehouse function, and the other one is the administration of statutory benefits for the retired presidents. The first one, which is the coordination of Statehouse functions, has suffered a reduction of 57%, and the statutory benefits for the retired presidents as a program has suffered 15% reduction. So we also have some other programs that have actually been taken out, all of it. The other one, which we always have before, is the Office of the First Lady, the programs and activities in there. That one has been scrapped as per the presidential directive, so there is no budget. And then we have the advisory services. That is the advisors, which the budget has been cut by 50%, I think, across government. And Statehouse programs and activities, especially those fall under development budget, the issue of the renovation and all that, we will come to that later, and that has gone to zero as development budget. Then number 3, and those specific items are shown under table 2. For question 2, table 2 is there on page 4. You can see the development was 1.558, and it was for refurbishment of the buildings, the State House, the state lodges, all of them in Eldoret, in Sagana, Nakuru, Kisumu, Kakamega, Kisii, and Mutitandei. They are all now zero, plus the issue of civil work and ICT and communication equipment. So that budget was falling under development, which was 1.558, and it's now is in the revised estimate, it is zero. Number 3, Mr. Chairman and honorable members, on page 5 is to provide information on changes that to that expenditure allocation to development projects that will change the priorities of better projects. Chairman and the honorable committee, the role of Statehouse on better has always been an enabler. So that that role is going to be affected, and it entails providing policy advisory on key priority areas and strategic intervention in line with the better, tracking and reporting on the implementation of government priorities and commitments of better, following up and reporting on the policy execution of better priorities, pushing initiative or pursuing initiatives that address the social economic issues of the vulnerable and special interest groups, and finally convening the multi-sector forum on the better core pillars and enablers to ensure harmony and coherence in the execution and attainment of better policies. Definitely these are going to be affected to some degree, not actually it's going to be, if we go to the specific items, they are going to be affected, a lot, since the cuts of 54% of the budget may not be able to achieve everything that we had planned to do. Number 4, the expected impact of the budget revision and the programs and project targets. These will actually affect or impact in our budget estimate as follows. 1, there was contractual obligations which will now not be met fully, as the budget for supply of essential goods and services has been rationalized. Implementing the ongoing development projects will be affected now that the development vote is zero. The financial year 2024-2025 targets in our strategic plan of 223 to 227 will be reviewed to align with the current budget, and some of the planned activities under administration of statutory benefits for the retired presidents will be scaled down. Mr. Chairman, as I mentioned, the strategic plan, which we did for 2023 and 2027, which required a lot of adequate funding, and now the budget has been revised downwards, this will adversely affect the execution of all those planned activities and programs. Finally, Mr. Chairman, which is number 5, is the key performance indicators and performance targets. Now that the budget has been revised, we may have to revise it, revise these performance indicators to reflect the impact of the budget, but as shown on table 3, page 6. It's now the detailed items. You see, there were places we thought we will do 100% of our target. Maybe now it has been scaled down. Some have actually, if you start from anything to do with, let's say from the First Lady office, everything is now zero. When you look at the targets, anything which was development, it's now zero. So that will require us, administratively to review the strategic plan. Finally, members, is to appeal to this honorable committee. We appreciate the situation we are in, actually, but and also the way you have always been helping helping us actually to achieve our targets. But we want to very sincerely appeal to this honorable committee that you will agree with us that a budget cut of 54% will almost bring the activities of this sector to a halt. So we have provided one piece of paper at the end that within your powers, if we could rescue us to have actually a budget cut of 36% instead of 54. I don't know how you will do it, Mr. Chairman, but, and we have also provided the items that we thought, should we get this reprieve from this honorable committee, then the column on yellow are the items we thought it is necessary to upgrade to bring the cuts down from 54% to 36%. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and honorable members.